Alright, I am set up in my spot if you want to do the whole clap thing.
Alright, and clap in 3, 2, 1, clap. Alright, we're all synced.
Welcome to the second episode of SkyViewTalks here. I am James.
I'm Avery.
And we're welcoming you back to our second episode, weekly episode. And I'm here on top of South Mountain with a nice little view of Phoenix off in the distance. Looking nice and sunny here. Avery, where you at?
I'm in New York today, and more specifically Times Square. You know, I got an umbrella with me. It's spatting rain here, but we're braving the elements. Excited for our second ever episode of SkyViewTalk here.
And I know where you're going with that. You're going to say first ever music review. We're going to get to that later in the show. We're going to do a little in-depth review of an album. But first off, we want to do the tip-off of today's episode, speaking on Lavar Ball and Lonzo Ball from UCLA. He's been in the news on and off constantly, and now with the Lakers having the second pick, Boston having the first, the drama's heating up. What do you think about the whole Lavar Ball helicopter dad thing, with Lonzo? What do you think?
I'm going to come straight out and say it. I don't like Lavar. I don't like what he's doing for his son. Yeah, sure, he's making a name for the Ball family and for Lonzo. But I think in the end, his talent would have come out. I mean, we're still talking about all the other athletes that are going to go in the top 4 here in the lottery picks. So it's not like we would not be hearing Lonzo Ball's name, in the mix of the top 1, top 2, top 3 pick for this NBA draft. I think, at first it was kind of funny hearing, Lavar Ball talk. It's like, look at him. He cares about his son and everything. Now it seems overkill. And every time I see him on ESPN or any other news network, I am so annoyed with him. I think he needs to shut his mouth and let his son just play basketball. I don't know about you. What's your take on him?
I mean, if you're looking at it from the whole parenting perspective, everyone handles it differently. He obviously has 3 sons that are coming up on the list. You got high school, you got a kid going into college soon, and you got Lonzo. It's tough to say how parenting should be done, but I'll say it from my perspective. I've had a dad who's coached me throughout the years, and as a son, having a dad who coaches you throughout all the levels until high school, I can see where he's coming from. He has no control over it anymore, so he's trying to take as much into his own hands as possible. I feel like no matter what, Lonzo's going to get drafted, lottery pick. It doesn't really matter. Now, my problem is you get into a place like LA with Magic Johnson, the whole GM ownership problem, Genie bust, all those. You get all that drama and you just sprinkle a little bit of ball in it, and it's going to be a mess. As a Laker fan, I do not want them drafting him. I bet they will, just because LA needs that drama. But it's just absolutely... I don't mind him. I personally don't mind him. I think, like you said, he's always in the news. No bad news is negative towards getting your name out there. His name's definitely out there. The whole, shoe deal, I'm worth $3 billion, is that realistic? No, not at all. But I mean, you might as well shoot high, and I'll tell you what, he's definitely shooting high. What needs to get a little higher is his kid's release point. That thing is I'll say that.
Yeah, you got to hand it to Lavar. I may not agree with the amount of emphasis he's putting himself into his son and his skills, but I mean, look what we're doing right now. We're talking about it. I think that's exactly what Lavar was trying to do. Was to get his son into more talks, and love it or hate it, it's working.
So going on to our next segment, we're gonna do a little first effort unveiling of Ready, Fire, Aim, and what it's gonna be is pretty much a quick fire 5 topics. We each diss them back and forth, and we only get one-word responses to say how we feel, what we think, or what's gonna happen. And we only get one-word response, so it's going to be pretty fun here. Avery, you can go ahead and start us off.
All right, we're going to start off with the obvious first pick here. Cleveland Cavaliers.
Finals.
Ooh, that's a good one. Last night was I don't know what the heck happened last night in that game 4, or excuse me, game 3.
Game 3.
But
they're gonna make it. They're gonna make it.
Yeah,
Come on.
yeah. No, definitely.
There's no doubt about that. All right, back to you. Warriors.
The best. You know, I know that's 2 words, so I'll break it down. Best. I think.
Okay.
You know, watching them the last couple times, oh my gosh, there is just not a person on that floor that can't play. You know, and they're a defensive team's nightmare to guard, especially in transition. I think it's impossible. You know, I was leaning toward the Cavaliers, you know, winning the finals this year, but after what they showed last night, and I know it's just 1 game, but I think that the Warriors just have a little bit too much on their side. It's gonna be an interesting finals for sure. Not to talk too far ahead, but I think that the Warriors are a little bit more talented than the Cavs, and I think they're going to pull it out this year. Arizona State Sun Devils.
Troubling. You look at the future and you really hope that everything that they're going into and they're putting in. Are we talking baseball? Are we talking football? Are we talking programs as a whole?
We're talking the athletic program in general.
You have a lot of money being funded into them, and you have efforts being put in. I mean, golf is always top. Baseball is wishy-washy lately. They need to definitely get to Omaha again. Football, you know, I mean, you have Todd Graham, but really ever since Brock Osweiler and Jalen Strong left, you just have inconsistent staff who don't know how to seem to play their players. Softball's doing well. It's confusing, you know, being in the Pac-12 ever since. I don't really know what the start of it was, but it's just they need to get back to being a powerhouse that they were a few years ago.
Yeah, definitely.
So, definitely troubling. NBA playoffs.
Long. And you know, I think they've done a better job with it in recent years, cutting down on the amount of time off between games, especially this year. You know, a lot of games they're every night it seems to be a new game, which I think is a great improvement. But still, I mean, they start. When do they start? Is it early May? They start. Is it late April?
I think it might be late April.
Yeah, and then the finals start in the beginning of June. You know, if it goes Game 7, you know it's going to take like a good almost 2 weeks to take. So I would say long is a good way to explain the NBA playoffs. Tyrod Taylor.
Franchise quarterback. He's got to be our franchise. I mean, I'm just going to cut up franchise. He has to be where we're heading. As a Bills fan, he's got to be where we're heading. He is permanently. He's a great quarterback, and if you look at it, he had the least amount of turnovers that a Bills quarterback had since like Jim Kelly. I mean, we can't continue to look for this one guy when we have who it is. He doesn't only scramble; he also has a great arm. You connect him with Sammy Watkins, he can just toss the ball around. And if we build ourselves an offensive line who he doesn't have to scramble all the time from, we're gonna be set. We're a few games we're a few games away from the playoffs. But still, as long as the Patriots are in a division, we got at least 2 losses a year. So.
Yeah, very true.
So, all right, and segueing into music perfectly for you, the third segment of today is going to be the music review of a recently released album, Logic's Everybody. What do you think about it so far, just going through the songs? You've gotten a little in-depth view of it, Avery. What are your feelings on it?
You know, I'm a little hot and cold about it. I think you know, my first listen, I absolutely loved it. The first couple songs, Hallelujah, Everybody, and Confess, I think have really good beats. You know, you can't help but kind of move to it. You know, you tap your foot. The beats they're so good, and something I love about Logic is that he's such a positive person. You know, he's not rapping about you know killing somebody or drugs or anything like that. He's rapping about like love and positivity, and you know you can't help but like that. I think you just overall I like it. I think it's not his best work, but overall I like it. What's your take?
Reading through, I listened to it once, just kind of in solitude, so I can give it a full listen. And the first time I listened to it, I vibed to every song. I was like, man, everything has a meaning to it. You listen to it, the beat captures you. You know, he goes to his rapping fast. He goes to, singing slow real quick. He has great features. I mean, you're going to 2 Chainz, No ID, Killer Mike, Big Lembo. I mean, you got some really knock it out of the ballpark. Khalid, Alicia Cara. I don't know how to probably pronounce that first
Alessia
name.
Cara. I got you.
Alessia
I got
Cara,
you.
there you go. Thank you. Peace, love, and positivity, brother. Now, the thing about it though is listening to it after the first dive, digging into it a little deeper, looking at the lyrics, looking at his meaning. He's a great guy. You go into Rap Genius, he has all the verified annotations for his lyrics, so he tells you what he means. It just feels like there's a lot of protest rap so far, whether that's because of Donald Trump or just because of the state of America right now between racism and injustice against colored people. It just felt tone deaf to me. And you read reviews from Pitchfork.com, XXL, Complex, everyone feels it. And whether that's just perception or negativity and hating, perception's reality. So, I mean, I don't know. Is there anything you got to say about that part of it?
I think yes. I mean, I understand like what he was trying to do. I think that it kind of got jumbled up in the process of creating this album. He was trying to.
Do you think he was trying to say too much? He was trying to do too much.
I think he was trying to bite off too big of a piece of the sandwich. To be honest, and that was perfectly fine of him to try to do this. I don't blame him because the relations in this country right now are very divided. But he was trying to. I feel like he was trying to make this concept album about racism and trying to lift everybody out of it and trying to bring positivity, which is great. But then you also get into these different parts of these songs talking about God and this whole like different aspect of the album that I think just muddles the whole message. And then you have songs that are just songs on there that don't really apply to any of these two messages. So I think what he was I like what he was going for. I don't think it was I don't give him like an A+ on the execution part of it.
No, if I had to go down and just give it a final grade, my final grade for the album would probably be a B-. Because it's definitely an album we're going to play throughout the continuous of summer. But if something gets released that's better, I mean, if you look back at Bobby Tarantino, his little drop mixtape project out of nowhere, I'd give that like an A-. That was close to some of his best work. Because that was logic on off his flow. I'm just going to kill the rap game right now. I'm just going to show them what I have. And guess what? I'm going to tease y'all by saying I got an album coming up. And then you get this album and you're just like, I'm going to go back and listen to Bobby Tarantino. I'm okay. Because there's it's mud. Like you said, it's muddy. Hopefully, before Ultra 85, when he's gonna drop his last album, says there's some other project he drops on the low.
Yeah. Hopefully next year we get another mixtape.
Just want to thank you guys for coming out for episode 2. Just let us know. Give us feedback. Comment on what you want to hear next. Any feedback is much appreciated. This is James signing off.
This is Avery signing off as well. Thank you guys for watching. Please, if you like the video, if you like what we're doing here, go ahead and give us a thumbs up. Go ahead and push that subscribe button and share it to your other friends. See what they think. We're out here. I'm out here in the rain. James is out there in the beautiful Arizona weather right now. But we thank you guys.
Not a cloud in the sky, my brother.
Yeah.
Not a cloud in the sky.
Not a cloud in the sky. There is not a speck of sunlight in this sky. But, like we said before, thank you guys for watching. Thank you for taking time out of your day to come here and watch us talk a little bit of sports and music. So other than that, we'll see you next week, guys.